Hello, good morning. My name is Julien Stoffler, and today I am going to show you how I make patate saute, which means jumped potatoes in French. You're gonna see why. And omelette, which means omelette in French, which just means scrambled eggs that don't look like shit. If you would have paid any attention to what I was doing, you would have noticed that I use a pan with hot olive oil, like 6 or 7 out of 10 on induction hobs. I throw a few garlic cloves in the oil. I left the skin and I just crushed them a little. This will allow the flavor to spread onto the potatoes and keep the cloves intact, which means you will get free toasted garlic at the end. I sliced the potatoes quite thinly, like 2 millimeters. I also left them a few minutes in cold water. That removes the starch and make them less likely to stick to the pan. If you're still paying attention, you notice that it's the second time that I added salt. I'm going to add more. I'm doing this little by little to give it the chance to spread evenly onto the potatoes. Okay, so here's the reason why they're called patates sauté. You cannot say they're sauté if you don't throw them in the air once in a while, like every 30 seconds maybe. Don't ask me why, but that's important. Maybe it's because it randomly shuffles the potatoes, or maybe it's just some French chef gatekeeping stuff. I don't know. It's also a little hard. I think that this was my 5th attempt, and you will see that I still lose a few potatoes in the process. But hey, it's a cool trick to learn, you'll feel good about yourself, and you will impress your friends. Take it easy, and trust me, do not try this if you're drunk. You may be wondering what's in the other pan. It's just chopped onions with olive oil and a little butter. I'm going to use them to fill the omelette. You can fill an omelette with pretty much anything you find inspiring, like cheese, mushrooms, garlic, salmon, ham, herbs, avocado, you name it. It's just that I was Sunday evening and I was out of pretty much everything except onions. I've been a cooking maniac for more than a decade now, but it's only recently that I understood how to make a bloody omelette. There are a few other techniques, but that's the only one that worked for me. You have to beat the eggs. Some people say you should do it manually with a fork, but I use a mixer. I just do it slowly because someone told me that it keeps the elasticity of the eggs. I'm not sure if that's true, but it doesn't hurt. You can also add whatever you want directly into the eggs. In this case, I just added salt and pepper, but I could have put my onions, for example. If you want to add anything that contains a lot of water, like tomatoes, you should cook them before because the water would mess with the heating of the eggs. Or better, wait until the omelette is cooked and stuff it then, like I'm gonna do. To cook the omelette, first set the heat of the stove to the maximum, or 9 out of 10 if you use induction hobs. Spread a little olive oil in the pan and wait until it's really hot. Then pour the eggs. Now you just need to prevent it from sticking by scrubbing the bottom of the pan with a flat cooking utensil. Shaking the pan a little helps. I tend to reduce the stove while doing this from 9 out of 10 to 7 out of 10. When almost all the egg is cooked, you can stop scrubbing and reduce the stove at 4 out of 10. Knowing the exact time when to do this is the most important skill you need to learn to make a great omelette. Wait a little for the bottom to get hard and lift it, starting from the side, so it doesn't stick to the pan. Now you can add the onions or any other delicious ingredient. When you think it's almost cooked, just fold it in half and leave it for a minute before serving. Now back to our potatoes. As you can see, they don't look really good. Some of them are overcooked, some of them are undercooked. The goal is to have them all brownish and crispy. I think I left them too long and maybe the stove was a bit too hot. I don't know, it's part of the learning process. But hey, it's not too bad either. Now it's time to add the herbs and the butter. The butter is going to nourish the potatoes, making them less dry and adding some flavor. If you're on diet, just skip that. For the herbs I used chives, but you should use parsley. I also had spare onions that didn't fit the omelette, so I added them here, but that's not necessary. You can add a bunch of stuff here, but I like to keep it simple. And there you go.